So I now go back to Jack, who had a question, I believe, on the VTC with President Erdogan. Jack.
Hi, Eric. Yeah, hi, Eric. Sorry. Firstly, I have a question on why the president and why the Commission didn't release a sort of fuller statement than just a short tweet after what's kind of quite an important call, I'd assume. And also, I wonder if you can give us an update or sort of a clarification on what the Commission's position is regarding Turkey, specifically this idea of visa liberalization, this sort of openness, what the Commission and what the member states, I suppose, it is a member states question, but I wonder if you can just outline the Commission's position on where the relationship lies between Turkey and the European Union at the moment. Just remind us of that. Thanks.
Thank you, Jack. On your first question, we very often release tweets after conversations between the president and heads of state or government, so there was absolutely no difference here in the way we have communicated after this VTC and many of the VTCs that the president has had with other heads of state or government. On your second question, I pass the floor to Peter.
Thank you and good afternoon to everyone. Well, I mean, I would, Jack, refer you to the Council conclusions, the latest from December, and recall that the EU, all the EU member states have said that they are interested, that we are interested in having a constructive relationship with Turkey based on cooperation, and our work and efforts not only since the last conclusions in December, but actually the whole last year, are directed and focused on achieving this. And you can see the video conference call of by President von der Leyen and HRVP Borel with President Erdogan as part of the outreach by the European Union to convey these messages, to discuss the need to de-escalate and to the need to do practical steps in order to move us on this road of constructive or renewal of constructive cooperation and dialogue, because this is what is needed. And in this sense, the EU position is not changed, it's captured in the EU Council conclusions. And also this is something what the Commission and the HRVP are working on in line with the tasking from the leaders from last December. So to prepare the overall overview of our relations, what do we want to achieve, what do we expect, and what do we have on offer. And this is continuing, and as I said, all these contacts and engagements are feeding into this process.
Thank you. Let us stick on the issue of relations with Turkey. Athanasios. Oh, sorry, Jack, I saw you had a follow-up perhaps, but we'll come back. Athanasios.
Yeah, it's a kind of follow-up on this. So have you been notified by Turkey or their diplomatic services of the intention of the Minister Çavuşoğlu to officially call Greece for exploratory talks next week? Do you have that information? Did they tell you, did Erdogan notify the president during the teleconference of that intention, or is it officially communicated to you in any other means? Thanks.
Peter, did we get official information on this?
Well, at this stage, as far as I am aware, I don't know anything about any official notification, but I would like to underline one thing, that the normalization or the discussions between Greece and Turkey and the engagement between these two countries is also a very important part of the overall relations between the EU and Turkey, because the irritants which were perceived by some of our member states are perceived by the whole EU as irritants, and they need to be removed. So in this sense, the renewal or the start of the talks is something the EU is expecting, and something that we expect would positively feed into the overall efforts to develop the positive track in our relations.
Thank you. Now let's move to Christian on this issue, sur ce sujet.
Oui, bonjour. Thank you. Good afternoon. I'd like to ask you if you would share the views of the Turkish president on the issue of the tension between the Turkey and various EU member states. They've been called whims. Do you think that the word whim caprice is appropriate to describe recent tensions? And then another question. At the last Council, a mandate was given to explore and adopt sanctions. How far are we with that? I was told that those could be adopted in the middle of January. We're almost at the middle of January. Does that mean then that as far as you know, there may be some sanctions in time for the next Foreign Affairs Council? And then I had understood that the Turkish Foreign Affairs Minister had been invited to Brussels. Do you have a date for that meeting yet? On your first question, the response is quite simple. We certainly do not share that evaluation of things. We have European Council conclusions that show that this is a position which is shared by the whole of the EU. Now, let me give the floor to Peter, although I think we've already dealt with the third question there. Peter, please. Yes, the second question on sanctions. We don't comment on what's happening in Council. The work is in progress. It will be finished when things are adopted at the request of all the Member States. So this is a process that's underway. Now, on the third question, the date is next week, Alor, for the meeting of the Turkish Prime Minister.
Yes. Nikolai Nielsen, EU Observer. President Erdogan also spoke about updating the EU-Turkey statement, and I was wondering if President von der Leyen supports this proposal as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will add nothing to the readout, the short readout that we gave of the conversation that took place on Saturday at this stage. This was a conversation which is taking place in a process that you know very well, that stems from the European Council of last December, and for the moment I will leave it at that. All right, I now open the floor to any other remaining issues you might have for us today. Are there other questions? That does not seem to be the case, so thank you very much. Bon appétit and see you tomorrow.